What's up, Martians of Chaos? It's your King of Night, Vincent Valentine, EX Turk. Not at my sunniest, not at my highest peak at this point, because I'm going to be making a serious video right here. It's a PSA, and you know what? I don't really like to make a PSA, but, let's just make this PSA just because I think it's needed, No matter what situation you face, you're going to need this kind of PSA. Let's talk about sexual assault. Now, this is a very dark topic, so if I lose subs or I get people riled up, just let you know this is a pretty tough subject, so I'm gonna let you sit here for 5 seconds, and if you're ready, then watch more. But if you're not, then you go ahead and leave. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to do it. Alright, now let's get to this. Now, first of all, the basic thing you need to learn about sexual assault is you should never victim blame, Matter of fact, you should at least get stories from both sides. Now, I know this sounds a little bit outlandish when I say you're going to get both sides, and whoops, I forgot to put my headphones in. I really don't want to talk about this. This is just too much of a strong subject that it affects my decision. But no, I gotta get really serious about this. I gotta get very serious about this. You should never in your life victim blame. Victim blaming is really bad and toxic and is very wrong. You should never do that. As well as the best thing you could do to prevent anything for prevention stuff is don't be around people who will put you in compromising positions, Like, I would not just, if you ever leave your drink out, you go to a bar or something, you leave your drink out, I would not go back in that, I would not go back in for the drink. Go buy yourself a new drink. I know it costs money, but go buy yourself a new drink. Because most likely people put weird stuff in there, especially with men nowadays. Men nowadays are disgusting. Some men nowadays are just flat out disgusting and will use any tactical advantage to get pussy, even if it's bad. Now, granted, it's no excuse at all for them to do that. But the best thing you could do is to not take your drink. Not take a drink once you go to the bathroom and come back. I'd either drink it up before or, but don't go back and do that. Be very careful, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of the people around you, and if someone tells you something about somebody else, like they have a history of this kind of stuff, the best thing to do is, you can nicely do this. You don't even have to be mean or anything like that, but nicely, get yourself away from that person. Say, making an excuse, say, I got something I have to do, or I have to be at work at such and such. I know, you're going to feel bad about yourself doing that, but, you get yourself at that compromising position, because if there's so many people coming out against certain persons or persons, then, most likely it has to be true, because, if it's multiple people against one person, if it was just one person, anybody can make up a story if it's just the one person. And people who do make up or, lie about sexual assault, it's very bad, and you should never do that. And if you do that, then you're scum. You're just as much trash as the people who commit these crimes. So we're going to put that right out there. The other thing I want to put out there is, You know, if multiple people have came out against this person, best not to go anywhere with this person, you know. Now, you may not have proof, so you can't get the police on them, but, you know, the best thing you do is stay away from that person. Cut off anybody who is known for sexual assault. Cut off bad friends, family, you know, even family members. And I know that's hard, but even family members that has committed sexual assault, because it's very wrong, it's disgusting, it's juvenile, it's disgusting. And people who commit sexual assault should be locked up like animals. Just saying. And it's not just only for people who sexually assault females. It could also go for females who sexually assault males as well, because it should never be a thing. You know, you should always ask for consent no matter who you're dealing with, male, female, trans, it don't matter. You gotta ask before grabbing them, before grabbing and touching. And for us guys, if we're at a bar, let's not get drunk, okay? Because, you know, if you're in a bar with a hot woman and your hormones are raging, drinking alcohol will increase those hormones and push it so far out. You're going to do something you're going to regret, and you're going to regret, because sexual assault is something you don't want on your record. So, guys, don't get too trash. Don't go in there to get trash. If you're going to a club or a bar to pick up women, the best thing to do is at least have 1 or 2 drinks, and that's it. And then cut yourself off, you know? And nothing really too strong, because, you know, if you're around a hot woman, you're going to be thinking about sex. So you don't want to get to the point where you can't control yourself, and alcohol causes your mind, causes your mind, you know, to think more illogically. You lose your illogical ability, because you lose you lose cells from that brain. Alcohol kills brain cells, and alcohol will alcohol will pretty much burn out the brain cells that make you have logical thought process, and will make you do, because you lose the logical thought process. So when you're out there, just remember to control yourself. Remember when you need to stop. Remember when you need to stop. And even if you're not drinking alcohol, if you start to think about touching and doing nasty things, you know, you should be asking. And if you get a no, you got to figure out a way to control yourself, you know. Because this is too much of a big problem. This is a big problem in any community, and I think it should be addressed. I think we should be able, you know, we should be able to use our clout and how many views and what we do to actually put it out there, you know. We should be, we YouTubers, streamers, actors, musicians, rappers, sports athletes, we need to bring even more awareness to sexual assault, because too many damn things happen in this country. And, you know, whether it's, you know, legitimate stuff that goes on, or people, you know, make up fake cases to get back at somebody, either way, we need to have an awareness, because at this point, we should get to a point where at least hopefully we come to a place where it all stops altogether. But, you know, crime is just everywhere, and crime is never going to go away. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate part of reality. But we should get to a point where at least less of these things happen. You know, I think whether you're a perpetrator of sexual assault or whether you lie about it, the sentences should be harsher to that person who's committed those things. Period. No questions asked. Throw away the key. Throw the book at them. I mean, if they're proven, of course, because you got to prove some stuff, you know. In the court, you know, you have to go through the court system, which makes sense. You know, even now, so, you know, we should be, but also, we should also learn the signs. We should learn the signs. Like women, ladies, if a guy's touching all over you and you feel uncomfortable, you have every reason to break off communication and run. You have every reason to call the cops. You have every reason to, you know, feel uncomfortable because you should have permission for that stuff. Let's just be honest. You should have permission, you know. And guys, I know this is a rare situation. Some guys do like it, some guys don't. But let's just say a guy doesn't like it. Guys, it's okay to push a woman off when she's trying to grope you because, you know, sexual assault is a serious thing, and we should take it a lot more serious than should. And we need to quit giving a slap on the wrist to these athletes, these sports athletes that get away with doing it, like how it was with the Brock case. The whole was he was a swimmer and he was like raping women in dumpsters. You know, we should stop giving these people slap on the wrist just because they're good at sports or they're good at this or good at that, and we should get the book thrown at them because enough is enough. You know, we need to false sexual assault and real sexual assault. Both the numbers need to decrease. If it can't stop, at least we should be able to get to a point where it's decrease. And that's why I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this because, you know, I'm going to use my platform and my power to say we need to decrease the numbers of both these things. Falsified or real sexual assault. We need to decrease the numbers. Cut the numbers all the way down. We need to put fear into the people's hearts that are doing this because it's heinous, it's disgusting, and people who do this is worse than maggots and worms, you know. So what I'm saying is that we need to do something. We need to know the signs, and when you know the signs, don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to use aggression just to get away. Do not be afraid, because that's what your perpetrators want to do. People who perpetrate sexual assault or sex crimes on women, and same thing with women who do that to men, that, you know, they win if you give up because you're afraid. Don't be afraid. If you have to kick their ass, kick their ass. Do not be afraid, because they want you to be afraid. So pretty much I'm going to leave it at this. It takes all of us. It takes us men to ask before touching, to understand no. And for women, likewise. And also, it takes us both men and women to understand the signs and how to get out of this as well. It also takes us to be harsher to people who perpetrate such disgusting actions. So may the crystal be with you, and let's hope in 2018 the numbers of sexual assault decrease.